How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a little bit different of a video. We are going to be celebrating 100 subscribers on the channel. And for this one, I just decided to do just a little explanation as to why I started on YouTube and what led me to covering the CFL as opposed to other sports leagues on YouTube. But really quickly before we get started, if you are new and you're watching this video for some reason, if you're not subscribed already, then consider liking and subscribing if you're into the CFL. There's really not a lot of CFL content on YouTube, and I promise you that this is a great place to get CFL content now and in the future. And with that said, let's get started as to why I'm a sports fan to begin with. So, I grew up in Hamilton, Ontario. I've actually lived in Hamilton, Ontario basically my whole life outside of my university years where I lived in Windsor. And basically, hockey was my favorite sport growing up. And I was just your typical Canadian who loved hockey, and that's all there really was to say about it. But then I started branching out as I got a bit older. I started getting ages of like 10, 11. I started to watch other leagues. And at that point, I started to watch the Hamilton Tiger Cats a lot more. I began going to some games every year. And there was just something about the CFL that really stuck out to me. And that I've always appreciated about it is that it was just a uniquely Canadian league. But I also loved the NFL. I loved all football. Hockey was still my number one for a while, but then football really took over in my teenage years, I would say in particular. Year after year, I just started to drift farther away from hockey and more into football, and it didn't matter what type of football I was watching. I loved my Buffalo Bills. I still do. I'm a huge Buffalo Bills fan, but I am also a huge Hamilton Tiger Cats and CFL fan, and we'll get more into that as we go on here. But basically, as I played some high school football. I loved it, and that was 3-down football. And that's really how you get engaged with the game. If you played the set of rules that we have up here in Canada, you start to appreciate what they all mean and how fun it is to play the Canadian game. And basically, I didn't play football in university. I just never thought I was good enough. I had a concussion along the way. That was the end of my playing days, basically, when I left high school. But when I got to the University of Windsor, I was so close to Detroit that I got to engage with professional sports on another level. I got to go over to games in another country so often. I got to go to several Lions games. I got to go to several Detroit Red Wings games, a couple Tigers games, all that. And it just really that whole experience really kept me connected to sports in a way that if I never left Hamilton, that I don't think I ever would have felt. But anyway, that experience in Windsor for 4 years, I took a degree in political science, and basically come 2019, I was looking for a job, and I couldn't really find too much in my chosen field. And basically, long story short, I ended up going back to school, going to Mohawk College now, and which I'm doing on the side of doing all these videos. And basically, I had a year there where I was just searching, and basically this is really what triggered me to start this channel. If I really had to credit this channel to anything, I would have to say it was because of my girlfriend who pushed me to do this, who really was a key factor in saying that you have the ability to do this. And she would remind me very regularly, it's like, you should start your own channel, you should start your own blog, that's what you should be putting your time into. And I never really listened to her for the first little bit, but then over time, I just, when I had a lot of time off, I was unemployed for a while, I was just like,
I'm just going to dive in here and see what I can do. I'm going to bust my ass and I'm going to put a lot of stories together. So basically, I don't think many of you know this, but I originally had a website, which is still, as far as right now, it is still operational. You can still search it up. It's hussey'shuddle.xyz. And it's basically what this channel is the same logo. But I actually had that before I started this YouTube channel. And I did about 30 stories over there. I did several off-season reviews of the 2020 CFL off-season that, of course, when the season was canceled, that I really killed my momentum to want to pursue this for a while. And basically what happened was I stopped uploading to the blog because I didn't have just the motivation to do it, knowing that for months we weren't going to talk about the CFL because it canceled its season, and it would be months before we could actually say anything meaningful about the CFL that, because there weren't any games, right? But anyway, I worked over the summer last year and, a factory job, but then I decided I'm just going to go for it again, and I'm going to bet it all, because the reason why I started a Canadian Football League YouTube channel and CFL channel, my blog was actually it was an NFL CFL hybrid channel, but when I started to go into YouTube, I wanted to go full CFL all the time, because I just looked around on YouTube, and I'm a huge YouTube fanatic. Ask my girlfriend, I am on YouTube basically 24/7. And which is, I mean, pretty unhealthy, but I just love the platform. And I just really, when I was really getting into the CFL over the last handful of years, I just noticed there just wasn't a lot of CFL content out there on YouTube for people to enjoy. Not like there is in, the NFL, obviously. The NBA is huge on YouTube. The NHL has a good presence on YouTube, and XFL even had some really good channels that I was tuning into when that league was operating last year before the pandemic. But I would just be one of hundreds of channels on the NFL that were out there on YouTube. And so I really wanted to do something different with this channel, and I just wanted to go really consistently uploading CFL related content. Maybe it's not right now the best content right now because we don't know if there's for sure going to be a CFL season, or the future's looking very cloudy right now for the CFL. And I just wanted to give CFL fans something to watch on YouTube, because I know they're out there. I think they're out. I know they're out there. They just don't know this exists, and how fast this channel has grown. Since I basically, all I do is just upload these videos and share them to Facebook groups and on social media, and that's really what all this growth is from. And I know eventually, this channel is now at 100 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for all your support with this, by the way. And this channel has grown. It's blown away my expectations, because I thought maybe I get to 100 subscribers by the start of the season, but once I started uploading twice a week, I started gaining like a handful of subscribers per video, and this really just motivated me to do this, and I just love doing these videos for you guys. It really means the world to me. It makes my week every week, and I really cannot thank you guys enough for all your support with this channel over the past handful of months, and I wouldn't be here today in the state of mind I'm in without you guys, and I just want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. But anyway, that's just a look into why I started here on YouTube, and what I look to do in the future is do a lot of week to week during the season. So here's the plan for going into next season. If there's a season, God forbid, fingers crossed again, right? I'm definitely going to be doing weekly power rankings on the channel. That is definitely in the works. I am also going to be doing something just completely unique. Another inspiration for the channel was I bought Doug Flutie's Maximum Football, where you can edit the rosters and play Canadian rules football, and it's really the only uh, game on the market you can do that. And basically, what I've done in this game, and you guys have seen many of my videos, I use highlights from that game in my videos using the created rosters I've made. And so basically, before the CFL season, I plan to do a top to bottom roster review of all the players, just giving my general opinions. I'm not a scout or anything, but I watch a lot of CFL games. I watched every single game that I possibly could from 2019 and just evaluated, took notes. And so I feel very confident in my evaluations of certain players. And obviously, this year it's kind of hard to predict given that we're like 2 years since we last played a game. But, I'm going to do my best to do that as we approach this season, hopefully. And so, those two things for sure, power rankings and then weekly player updates to my rosters that I will reveal in the lead up to the season. And then other videos will be sprinkled in. Obviously, there'll be a lot of news, injuries. There's going to be a lot of different segments that I might try to incorporate. But there's a lot of exciting things to look forward to in the channel. Hopefully, we get to see it because of the CFL. Hopefully, they get it together. They can get on the field in 2021. Fingers crossed once more. And with that said, that's going to be the end of today's video. I'd like to thank everyone for watching. Once again, my name is Jason. If you want to support the channel, the best way to do it is by hitting that like button and subscribing to Hussey's Huddle for more CFL content just like this. I appreciate each and every one of your support and view, like, whatever you do with the channel. I really appreciate it. And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next video.